Every man should run a rotation, manage a soft harem, if you will, at least once in his lifetime. You will quickly discover that it's easier to manage three girls compared to one. And girls that are competing with each other bend over harder to please you. You will find less reason. Guys are always like, why would I want to be married to three women? One woman's hard enough because this one woman is giving you grief because she knows you have nowhere to go. You're either in that bed or you're on the couch. You're either pleasing her or you're living back at your parents. But when it's different that you can replace her, or say she's on the couch and you've got a different girl in your bed, then things change. Every man should run a rotation. The only way you can really understand this is to actually experience it. There's nothing that can be described. We say when it comes to girls, one is none, two is one, three seems to be the sweet spot. After that, it's just a matter of your management skills. Can you manage 5 or 10 girls? And some guys can do it, but three seems, from my personal experience and from my surveys, consistently three girls that you're having sex with weekly seems to be the sweet spot. And as one drops off, another one will move in to that spot. So you're always filling the top of the funnel. Every man should experience, even if it's just for 2 or 3 months. It's so good for your brain to experience. Basically, you're experiencing kind of like what women experience in their everyday lifetime, is an abundance of sexual options, satisfaction. I just had sex with this girl. I'm going to have sex with a different girl tonight. You might wake up with one girl and go to bed with a different one. It's just being thrown at you. When you carry yourself, it comes off to other women. This guy is fucking. They just know. Am I right?
You're right.
Yeah, I think she knows to agree with me. I think I just woke her up.
You're right. So,
that's perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
I've never heard something more accurate.
She knows this. She was there.
I was there.
But every time, and again, how do you do this? I have it in a book. I wrote it all down. How do you do? Because there are some management keys, and going from like dating serial monogamy, dating 1-1-1-1, there is a transition. There is a change. There are things that have to be done differently. And how do you avoid hurting feelings? And are you fucking other girls behind their back? No. We avoid the cheating. I mean, you will be surprised at how many women will go along with this happily because you serve a purpose, but you will quickly discover that it is easier, far easier to manage 3 girls compared to 1. And it will be very difficult to go back to 1 because they kind of have you by the balls when it's just 1-on-1. And girls that are competing with each other bend over harder to please you. You will get fewer shit tests. You'll get less resistance. You will definitely not get any, I have a headache tonight. These girls will bend over backwards to see you because they know if they're not seeing you, you're seeing somebody else. You're not sitting at home, like twiddling your thumbs or playing video games or, polishing your 9-iron. You're actually out fucking someone else, or someone else is coming over, or someone else's is coming over with their girlfriend. That's what you're conveying over time. So every man should run, even if it's just for a little while. Just test it out. A lot of guys know, they can't, and that's okay. But if you ever believe that it might be something that you might be interested in, you should check it out and even just test it out. That's the thing with a lot of this stuff in game. You can test it, you can try it, and if it doesn't work for you, you found out. But at least you tried. It doesn't harm you or anybody else. And girls are easily replaceable. And that's another thing you'll learn from running a rotation is like they become very, very similar. And you start to hear the same thing sometimes in the same day from different girls. And just, if somebody unique comes along, you'll definitely know it. Every man should run a rotation. Manage a soft harem, if you will. at least once in a lifetime. You'll quickly discover that it's easier to manage 3 girls. Don't you forget it, compared to 1. And girls that are competing with each other bend over harder to please you as Bunny rolls around in the bed.
Put up with more.
And they'll put up with
They'll
more,
put up with more.
which is really all you can ask for. That's pretty funny.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, seriously though, okay, they'll put up with more in the process because they know in the heart of hearts that you're fucking multiple women. So then they're more tolerant. If they're there, they want to be with you, period. So they're like, okay. But then if you go down to just one of them, just choosing one, like us, like where it's kind of like us, it sticks. She doesn't turn into a cunt. Then she's well trained to be like more tolerant of your idiosyncrasy.
That's a good point.
I mean, like it's just if she can tolerate that with a good attitude and is just happy to be around you.
She has a good, what she's saying is basically the running a rotation tends to filter out the girls that aren't easy to get along with.
Yeah, perfect. That's the way to put it.
Because there are girls that their agenda is I'll lock him in and I'll change him to what I need him to be.
Yeah.
He looks like good raw material.
Yeah.
And girls tend to do this with that serial monogamy because all they need is 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they lock you down and then it's like game on.
Yeah.
And the guy's like turn around 2 years later and like
hates his life.
Literally hates his life and can't get out of it. I mean, he can, but it's going to hurt for a while. So thanks, Bunny. I mean, that's the real deal. That's super